Getting your creative juices flowing can actually be really difficult sometimes, especially with the way the world is today. So what I want to do is give you 4 things that your creative space should have in order to help you actually get creating and doing things. Welcome to Zachary Iron Art. This is a channel about mostly art, but also a lot about inspiration and motivation, and to really help you to do and get to start things that you never thought you would, or to not be afraid to create and try something new. Today, I specifically want to talk about helping you to create a space or improve a space that you might already have that is an area that will help you to just really do whatever it is that you want to do. A lot of the concepts I'm going to be talking about will apply mostly to artists because I do a lot of crafty things and I draw and I illustrate, but these concepts could easily be used for things anywhere from playing an instrument to working out. That's what these are for. Like, I really enjoy creating spaces, but mostly I really like creating spaces that people want to be in, that they enjoy being there, that they want to stay there. And that's kind of the concept that we're doing with this. Anything from a coffee shop to a classroom to an art studio. So that's what we're going to be working with today. Throughout the video, I will be showing some clips of other people's creative space, including Pirate Bri on Instagram, and also Jake Parker, as well as my own. So you guys can get an idea of what these spaces look like from me, but also from other people. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, a lot of these things I'm going to be talking about kind of blend together for different reasons, and you'll see why. The first thing that we really want to talk about is your space needs to be comfortable. You want a space that you want to be in, that you want to come to. It's like you don't want to go somewhere that's uncomfortable and you just don't want to be there anymore, especially if it's a space that you want to start doing things. For example, like my apartment. Like, my apartment used to be old and kind of not nice. And when I come home from a long day at school and dealing with kids all day and different stuff, and I want to relax, I want to come to a space that I enjoy. So I was totally fine with redoing my apartment to make it in a space that I want to be in. So this is an idea for your creative space. It should be comfortable, a place that you want to be in, that feels good to be in. However, you don't want to go too extreme and make it too comfortable that you end up just relaxing and falling asleep and not being productive at all. That's not the goal. Okay. So how do you make your space comfortable? There are several practical things. For example, lighting. What does the lighting look like during the day? Do you have nice windows where the sun comes in and you enjoy that? Do you like working during the day? Do you have lighting that you can change? For example, my lighting that I have here for when I'm shooting videos, or the lighting behind me. Do you have ambient lighting that you can just relax and have, and does it actually work for whatever it is you're trying to do? Another important thing is the seating. What kind of seating do you have? Is it okay for you to be sitting on a comfy couch? Like, does that work for you? Or are you like me, where I actually need a nice comfortable chair that's going to be good for my back because it could cause problems later on? Or I sit in it a lot and that's what I need. So your seating that's around you is actually a really big deal too. On top of that, other things that you can just have in your space. Like, do you have pictures on your wall? Do you have plants around you? I actually really enjoy having lots of plants, and some really cool ones. And it's actually a proven fact that plants boost creativity in the workspace as well as workflow for people, and keep people, I don't know, inspired or motivated, whatever it is that they do, oxygenated, like whatever it is that they do, like that's a proven thing. So is that something that you like? You're going to want to think about stuff that really appeals to your senses. What are the sounds like? Do you enjoy it really, really quiet? Do you enjoy having music? Are you like me, that sometimes I like to have my balcony door open and hear the birds on my balcony, even though I still hear the cars and stuff go by? Or maybe sometimes your space is not in your home and it's somewhere else, and being outside in a field is really good for you. Sometimes the best thing for your creative space is to get out of your creative space and find something new. But you want to find something that's comfortable, or create that space that's comfortable for you. A lot of times the more senses an area touches, like taste, smell, sight, sound, and the things that you really, really enjoy, the better it is for you to be there. So that's the first one. The first one is comfortable. Number 2 is inspirational. Your space, your creative space, your space that you're trying to make should be inspirational. Now, inspirational is different than motivational, and we'll talk about that more later when we get to the next point, which is motivational. But inspiration is more of those things that you first see that start to drive and pull you towards the thing that you want to do. So this could be a lot of different things. For me, actually, as an artist, I have pictures all around from other artists that I really admire, that I like their style, that I hope to be like one day, that I learn from. And having those pictures around me, and when I see them, it really like inspires me to grow and do and become better at what I want to do. I also have figures like all over my desk, like even right here, so I got little Nendoroids like all over my desk everywhere, and around me, of animes or shows that I really like, because when I see them, I think about the anime, I think about the manga, I think about the art style or the story, or like why I enjoyed it so much. So it's very, very inspiring for me. Or books that I have behind me. Some of these are art books, which are for the practical side of things, of learning, but some of them are just art books that I flip through to get inspired by these artists to start pulling me towards the thing that I want to do. So what does that look like for you? It could be just even objects around you, right? Maybe your guitar or an instrument that you have by you, or songs that you have on the wall, or even your cushions and the patterns that are on them, or the color scheme that you keep in your room could be inspirational for you. So what is it that you have around you to be inspired? So that's the number 2. Number 2, inspiration. Number 3, the third thing that your space should be is motivational. Again, it's different than inspirational. Inspirational, if that is more pulling your thoughts and your ideas and kind of gets you to start thinking about stuff. Motivational is the stuff you keep around you to get you to actually physically start doing the thing that you want to do, right? So for me, it's art. Keeping things around you that are reminders, like your past failures or your past accomplishments, keeping those near you to where you can see them or have them by you to remind you like what you did accomplish. I still keep my very first watercolor portrait I ever did, and it is straight awful. I'll show it to you right now. Okay, I thought I was going to be really good, did it really quick. It turned out terrible. I keep that to remind myself, because not long after that I did one, same picture, and it did turn out much better, and I spent more time on it, and it reminded me that I really do need to do that. So it's things that are around you, your past accomplishments, your past failures, to motivate you to keep doing what you want to do. Also, keeping maybe a list of your goals or what it is, where you want to go. What motivational things do you have by you to remind you that? Another thing is keeping something around you. And again, these could be different objects. It could be pictures of people. It could be your own work. Something that reminds you who you're doing this for and why. Like, why are you doing it is what you're doing? Are you doing it for yourself? Are you doing it for someone else? Are you doing it, like, for me, like, why do I do this? I really feel like God has put it on my heart to inspire creativity in people and to get them to actually try and to not be afraid to do stuff. And so maybe having scripture near you, if God is something that, like, if God is what is pushing you, So what is it that pushes you, and why do you do what you do? I remember recently I was watching an anime called Kotaru Lives Alone. And this 4-year-old who's living by himself, he lives next to a manga artist. And one day he's running and he scrapes up his knees and he puts like 10 Band-Aids on his knees, right? He's doing it by himself for the first time. So his knees are just like covered in Band-Aids on both sides. He goes to the manga artist next door. The manga artist just had a meeting with his editor and it went terrible. Okay, it went awful. And this little kid comes in and he's like, hey, look, I Band-Aid my knee, even though like I knew it was gonna hurt, but I did it myself. And he was basically looking for praise, as a 4-year-old. And the manga artist picks him up and sets him down on the table, and he pulls out a marker and he starts drawing, because he's an artist. And on one, he draws the little guy's, Kotaru's favorite character from his favorite cartoon. On the other one, he draws a picture of Kotaru. And Kotaru looks at it and he's like, wow, you're really good. And he starts smiling. And then in the manga artist's head, he's like, why am I surprised that he's smiling? Like, this is why I started to do this in the first place. So that little bit right there, watching that kid smile, is what motivated him and reminded him that, like, who he does it for. Why does he draw in the first place? And then right after that, he's like, you know what? I'm pumped and I'm motivated to start working on my manga and to make it better. So that's number 3. It should be motivational for you. Your space should have things around you that motivate you to actually do the thing. Let's quickly hit the last one, which is number 4, practical. Your creative space should be practical. What does that mean? It means you need to have stuff in your creative space to do the thing that you want to do. If I want to draw and I want to create, but I don't have stuff to draw with, that's not very practical. If I want to work out, but I don't have the space to work out, or I don't have the equipment, or I don't have a program or a membership to a gym, that's not very practical. If I want references, but I don't have books for references, if I want to do a good YouTube video, but I don't have a camera or a phone to even shoot video with, like, that doesn't work. So you actually need the equipment and the things that make it easier for you to get started. Having nice equipment is good, but it's not the most important. It is helpful to have something that makes it easier for you to like just hit record, to just pull out a pencil and start drawing, having notebooks around you and so on. So what are those things around you that are practical? Also, practically, don't hide your stuff. I have a colleague who is about to take a sabbatical and almost forgot that she likes doing art and now will have time to do it. And she said that she put her art supplies away in a box nicely tucked away, and that's why she basically forgot that she likes to do those things. Or for example, my girlfriend and her daughter, they like to play guitar and they can play guitar, but their guitar was always in a case in a closet. And so when they finally pulled the guitar out and actually set it out and had it just sitting out often, they started playing guitar a lot more often. Don't hide the things that help you to actually do what it is that you want to do. Make your space practical. Make it to where you can just grab that stuff and start working on it. That's what number 4 is. Hopefully these were helpful, but ultimately it all comes down to what is it that you want to do. These are just some ideas, but what it is that you want to do. Truly creating an environment that cultivates and gets you to be creative and actually start doing really does make a difference. Having all these thoughts, ideas, concepts and stuff, it's all great, but if you don't do anything with it, what was the point in the first place? So again, I appreciate it, guys. Hopefully this helped you. If it did, hit the like button, subscribe, and I would really love to hear in the comments, what kind of space is it that you're trying to create? And maybe how can I help you? Are you trying to create a space for working out, for music, for drawing, for writing? What is it? I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much.